In the first narrative, a purported friend informed Opie that her spouse of a decade had engaged in infidelity with the intent of causing harm, asserting that Opie was the wrong choice. Consequently, Opie revealed this friend's attempts at blackmail through desperate sexual favors and the fabrication she employed, which not only harmed others but also derailed Opie's entire life. For additional context, I, 31F, have maintained a relationship with my partner, J, 34M, for a duration of 10 years. Our introduction occurred through mutual acquaintances, which swiftly transitioned into a romantic involvement, culminating in engagement approximately 2 years into the relationship. Despite not being formally married, we opted for a non-traditional ceremony and prioritized expenditures on necessities such as housing, transportation, healthcare, and the like. While we possess matching rings symbolizing our commitment akin to marriage, we often refer to each other as spouses and present ourselves as married within social circles. Our familial relationships comprehend this arrangement, as both of our parents, having experienced divorce, harbored no objections to our decision, understanding the complexities of marital relationships. Furthermore, the majority of our friends neither scrutinize nor critique our non-marital status, either sharing our rationale or viewing legal marriage as less imperative than previous generations. Enter Trisha, 28F. Our acquaintance commenced during a previous occupation, and our compatibility was evident. We shared similar tastes in music, cuisine, and aligned viewpoints on matters spanning movies, literature, and fashion. Trisha possesses admirable qualities, and I genuinely value her companionship, albeit sporadically engaging in peculiar phases where she dissects the conduct of men within our social circle. She proceeds to expound her theories to our female cohort, drawing from observations gleaned from social media posts, peculiar behaviors she claims to have noted during group gatherings such as barbecues or beach outings, among other instances. While I have no problem calling out potential sh*t behavior in a friend, the things she deems suspicious don't really hold water, in my opinion. For example, she's never quite let go of considering a male friend gay, and her evidence is that he's a bit of a perpetual bachelor. According to him, his bachelor status is because he's holding out for a girl who doesn't mind his transient lifestyle as a man who has to travel a lot for work and would want to join him rather than wait around at home. But according to Trisha, he must be having gay affairs across the country and refuses to tell us, even though many in our friend group are gay, out of the closet, and even bring their partners to social events. Then there's my sweet Jay. Jay has never been a very physically affectionate person, and he is likely autistic, but isn't interested in having a formal diagnosis. He took the Rodzar test to screen for autism in undiagnosed adults about 4 years ago when he was seeking treatment for chronic migraines, and the results suggested strongly that he may be autistic. Once he got those results back, he sort of got over the idea of wanting answers for some of his mental health questions, preferring to just go to therapy and work on finding a good treatment for his migraines. According to him, the Rodzar was good enough to solve the mystery and provided some closure for him. I didn't press the issue, as the idea of getting on his case about a diagnosis he didn't feel he needed seemed unnecessarily harsh to me. On top of that, Jay loves fishing. When you put these two facts together, hopefully, a picture gets painted for you, but I'll clarify anyway. He knows all about the different types of aquatic environments in our area that you can legally fish, when all the different spawning seasons are, what every species eats, how they hunt, and he can even tell what sort of fish is on his hook based on how it feels when he's pulling them in. He can look at a body of water and instantly tell you if fishing will be good that day, and he has never been wrong. It's like living with a fish-based psychic. Since I am an avid lover of seafood, his fishing and pursuit of fish-centric knowledge have only been a boon to me. I can express interest in wanting a fish dinner on Monday morning, and that night he will bring home and cook up enough fish for us to eat like royalty. He's even excited to catch fish to make fertilizer for my new rose bushes, since he feels confident he will be able to pull up the perfect food for my new roses. The suspicious activity, according to Trisha, is that he often goes on spur-of-the-moment fishing trips by himself and can sometimes be gone for hours. He will randomly stand up and say something like, "All right, fishing time," and give me a kiss before he hits the road. While I would ordinarily agree that something like that could be suspicious, I know factually that Jay isn't cheating, as he always sends me countless pictures and videos while he's on these trips, as well as calling me on the phone when he's particularly excited about a good catch, how he's trying to get a uniquely sneaky fish, a cool bird he saw, things like that. Even if he's gone for 10 hours, my phone will be blowing up for all 10 of those hours with pictures of his sunshine smile next to a fish or videos of him cheering as he shows me what he's got on the stringer. A long, thin rope used to keep fish alive, but attached to your boat in the water. I adore these pictures, videos, and phone calls, since they make my heart so full with how much joy he feels and how at peace he is on the water. I would join him more often, but I usually stay home, since it wouldn't be fair to our dogs if both of us left for undefined amounts of time on a whim. Instead, I find my peace in watching through his eyes, and when he comes home, I'm always happy to get the play-by-play of how the trip went while Jay prepares the fish for us to eat. We even have a game now where he quizzes me on what types of fish he caught, and if I win, I get a big hug. None of this is good enough for Trisha. For years now, she has had her suspicions about Jay, but I've always brushed them off, as I'm secure in my relationship and trust Jay implicitly. When Trisha first brought her theory to me, I brought it up to Jay, who was genuinely hurt and asked if I shared in her suspicions and wanted him to go fishing less. I told him no, but that I felt he deserved to know what Trisha was telling people about him. He understood and was willing to let sleeping dogs lie. Over the years, as Jay and I kept on keeping on, unmarried and in fishy bliss, Trisha became more and more adamant that not only was Jay cheating, but that the reason we weren't married was that he convinced me to wait for an expensive wedding and he would rather continue on cheating during fake fishing trips. Her proof was his random trips, the fact that he doesn't physically touch me a lot when we are in public, and how he never lets me go with him. Countless times I have shown her the giant folder of fishing pictures and videos in my phone, call logs showing how often we're in communication, and told her that I didn't need to have him grabbing on me or dangling off of me in public to feel secure with him. I've brought up our responsibilities as dog owners to not leave them alone for hours on a whim without the ability to relieve themselves outside. I've even told her multiple times over the years that she's more than welcome to ask Jay if she could tag along on a trip and see for herself how committed he is to fishing, but she always refuses. Again, since Jay has been fine with ignoring the drama, I let it slide. Up until about a week ago, Jay was talking about going on a day-long fishing trip with two of our friends, Vince and Maria, who are married, as they had expressed interest in going and saw the trip as a sort of blend between a station and a chartered boat trip. Trisha spoke privately with me, saying that I must be happy that Maria is going since she will be able to ensure that not only Jay can't cheat on me, but that Vince can't cover for him if he tries to. I'd finally had enough, as now she was dragging poor Vince into this and slandering his character when all Vince had done was agreed to a day trip with an old friend. I told Trisha that she needs to either bring her suspicions directly to Jay and hash them out with him, or let them go, because as far as I'm concerned, she's projecting her issues onto Jay. Since Trisha can't keep a guy longer than 3 months, while that assessment isn't entirely true, I wanted to hurt her feelings and cut her down to size since that's my sweet Jay she's dragging through the mud. Trisha not only took it personally, but also said that I was just naive and afraid to be single. I told Trisha that she was projecting again, since she's a serial dater who scares men off with her wannabe Sherlock Holmes nonsense, and she just can't fathom a man with a real hobby because she only goes after half-baked fake gym boys more interested in their own tits than hers, and wannabe finance brothers who blow their entire paychecks on crypto. She stopped talking to me after that, and she hasn't reached out to me since. Granted, I haven't reached out to her either, but I'm mad at her because she was rude. Our friend group doesn't really give this entire situation much weight, saying stuff like, "That's just how she is," or "What did you expect?" or "We know Jay isn't cheating, but he's an exception to the rule," and maybe Trisha just doesn't see that. While I was willing to stand my ground at first and not budge on the issue, now I'm wondering if maybe I was too harsh and should apologize for being petty just because I wanted to knock her down a peg and get her to give upon her theories. DDLR. My female friend is convinced my husband is cheating on me because he effing loves fishing and goes on day trips frequently, and after years of hearing her doubts and showing proof that he's faithful, I snapped at her, insulted her taste in men, and spoke negatively about her dating history. And should I apologize, or do I keep all 10 toes in the ground and let her twist? Comments. HR Nips. First of all, Jay sounds wonderful. Congrats on snagging him. I smiled reading when you were talking about him.
Trissa Sux, Mann.
Trisha isn't helping anyone. She's actively hurting people's marriages, relationships, and friendships. I'd bail on her ASAP. I don't know what you see in a person who has put that much time into belittling your wonderful husband. I was also a little irked by people in your group chat saying Jay is the exception, how you said Trisha is always doing this, and she's wrong as F asterisk asterisk asterisk. Why are you friends with Trisha? Is fabricating rumors about your friends being gay and your husband cheating on you to the point that you told Jay this is what she's saying about you to people. You know, she didn't just say it to you, but everyone, and you're still letting this be hang around. Gross. OP. Hearing it framed this way is a shock. I think I need it. I wanted to get defensive at first, but you have a really solid point. Someone else here asked if maybe Trisha is interested in Jay, and I'm going to dig into that, but now I want to dig into this as well. Thank you for your input. It's put a lot into perspective. Scary Cycle 1508, also just food for thought. Are you sure she's not spreading rumors about you behind your back? Anyone willing to talk to you behind someone else's back is willing to talk about you behind your back. OP. I'm sure she is at this point. Reading the comments here has changed how I view the entire friend group. I'll be speaking with some mutual friends about what they've heard. It's receipt time. Judgment. NTA. Update 1 day later. I wanted to give a small update now before I bring the axe down tonight. This will be shorter, as Jay and I will be going fishing together this afternoon after lunch. I showed Jay the original thread, and we had a heart-to-heart that lasted until the wee hours of the morning. Firstly, he wanted me to express his appreciation for you all, as well as shout out his fellow fishing enthusiasts. He encourages you all to get out there and try your best, regardless of your success, and to instead share with him the joy it brings, even if we can't all go fishing together. After going through all of your beautiful words and generous support, we shared our thoughts on the matter, not only as a couple but as two people with different levels of attachment to the individuals in our friend group. We both agree that we have been holding on to these friendships more out of a sense of nostalgia and a desire to be kind than actually examining what these friends brought to the table and whether or not they enriched our lives. We had been distracted by a desire for community and old bonds, sacrificing our comfort and respect, not only for ourselves but also for our choice to be together and have a dynamic that some may not view as normal or valid. In some capacities, while Jay and I have different views on what certain friends mean to us, we agree that enough is enough, and it's time to not only establish boundaries but to not give an inch to those who have caused us to come to this. Trisha especially. That said, Jay is a good man, a strong, whip-smart, generous man. And reading the feedback you all provided made me realize something. I'm effing angry. I allowed a venomous waste of air around my sweet Jay, my Jay. She slandered him, belittled me, and devalued what we have. And I allowed it like some sort of coward. It's going to end now, and I'm ending it my way. I will not be allowing Trisha to slink away from this or have room to twist words to make me look like anything other than a woman with righteous fury regarding the man she vowed to honor and protect. I'm sorry to report that I will not be taking the high road, nor will I be handling this with tact and decorum. I'm blowing this bee's social life sky high, along with anybody who sides with her. Scorched earth, no prisoners, blood for the blood god. Comments flam. Ando, as she takes off the earrings and says, "Hold my purse, SHD just got real." No, you 5 being 550. I am popping the popcorn and waiting for the update. Update, 1 day later. I'm going to keep this as brief as possible while still covering it, as there is a lot to cover involving about 15 people, and it's still all hitting the fan. I added the NFW flair, as some adult topics will be mentioned below, including potential saw and drug abuse during the fishing trip yesterday. I blocked Trisha on everything and reached out to people to say that Jay and I would be distancing ourselves from Trisha, why we were, and shared what theory Trisha had about them, if there was one, along with any screenshots or evidence I had of Trisha talking about them. I also asked a few friends who might know if Trisha might be interested in Jay, as some people pointed out that that might have been a motivation for her to get between us. Here's what's been dug up so far. Matt, the friend Trisha alleged was gay, confirmed again that he isn't gay. He shared a story about how he, his roommate, and Trisha had to get together at one point where they drank and smoked some weed. During the night, Trisha got handsy and tried getting together with Matt's roommate, who declined. When they sobered up the following morning, Trisha said that it should be fine because men like that sort of thing. After that, Matt and his roommate weren't comfortable with her and effectively barred her from going to their place. Matt suspects this is the origin of the gay rumor, and he's chosen to step away from the social group to reevaluate some things. I didn't want to press him, so I left it there. Vince and Maria have gone dark. Maria believed that Trisha was the victim in all of this, and Vince was vague in his responses and seemed to be taking a more hands-off approach. But they stopped responding when another friend sent a screenshot of Trisha alluding to them being swingers because they have a decorative pineapple on their kitchen counter. Neither of them has anyone blocked, but no one can get a response from them either. One friend got into an argument with his girlfriend after said girlfriend went through his phone because of the drama and found either texts or pictures, I don't know which, that, according to her, proved that he's been sleeping with Trisha on and off. I heard this from his brother, who reached out after the girlfriend left a voicemail saying she was kicking the friend out, and the brother wanted to know what was going on. I'm not sure exactly what's happening there, as that friend has also gone dark, and none of us know the girlfriend very well or have her phone number. One friend came clean about her struggles with prescription pain medications after her mother lost her battle with cancer, because Trisha had been trying to blackmail her into getting dirt on Matt, Jay, and Vince and was using the drug abuse as leverage. Admittedly, a lot of my attention got diverted after this came to light because that's a much bigger problem than my beef with Trisha. We are still working on creating a good way for people to be a support system for her moving forward, and that will be what we as a group will focus on from here on out. An old friend of Jay's dropped a nuke by revealing that Trisha tried blowing him in the bathroom during a Friendsgiving dinner we had last year, only to turn around and try to blow a different guy in the bathroom after Chris turned her down. Jay, some other friends, and I created a new Discord server for all of the friends coming out of this drama against Trisha, and so far it's been a lot of comparing dates, texts, and Discord DMS, but it looks like Trisha has been trying to either sleep with or break up every guy in the friend group, as well as either get rid of or get leverage on every girlfriend in the group. Either way, we have bigger fish to fry now. It's time to put this all behind us and help our friend who really needs it. Thank you all for your kind words and helpful advice, even the harsh stuff. Comments always on site. Holy SHD, Trisha is a much bigger re-hole than ever anticipated. Initially fair in her very being, she deserves to be all alone and sad with nobody to talk to after all the stuff she's been doing behind everyone's back. Blackmailing someone who just lost their mother is terrible. She's genuinely such a bad human being and a disgusting person. Also, I'm guessing she's pretty unattractive if everyone is turning down her advances. She's definitely jealous of all of you guys in happy relationships. Cat shaders, swinger pineapples, blackmail, bathroom, __. And of course, fishing. This update had everything. October 10th, 10. No notes. Second story. OP's friends humiliated her boyfriend and bullied him in front of her while she did nothing. Now she wonders why he is mad at her and distances himself. I have been with my boyfriend for close to a year now. It has been the best relationship in my life. He is a great person, kind, smart, sweet, etc. The icing on the cake is that he's extremely attractive. The only thing I dislike about him is that he's kind of a dork, for lack of a better word. That's okay. I'll take him with me to parties, and it's kind of embarrassing. He will sit back and just be on his phone, and he sees nothing wrong with that. I told him that I don't like when he does that. Imagine how it looks on me when my boyfriend is in the back on his phone, and you have other people who are the life of the party. I'm used to dating very outgoing guys who take center stage everywhere we go, but he just fades in the background. He might talk to other people who are sitting off to the side or the back. His side of the story. I should have fun without forcing him to be something he's not. He said if someone does care and judges us because of it, they are immature. He's comfortable hanging out with the other people in the background at parties. He also says I don't force him to be outgoing with his friends. Now, I will say the difference is that most people would find his friends weird. Conventionally, they are just weird, and that is okay. I have no problem with his friends, but I'm actually pushing him to do things that would make him cooler. I hate that word, but for lack of a better word. I'm going to show him this post because he makes it seem like what I'm asking for is reasonable. Edit. I love my boyfriend, I'm happy with him, and this is not an issue we need to break up with. I want to marry him one day and have a child with him. Relevant comments. I'll be on a good side. You can't. If you don't want to date an introvert, don't date one. But what you're asking for isn't just unreasonable, it's unkind. He's not hurting anyone. You have to learn what battles in life are worth picking and what battles are not. Oi, Asking him to talk to people is unkind. When I was a kid, my mom would make me speak to people I didn't want all the time. That's how you become more outgoing. Razzle Dazzle 626. He's not a child. Update. I want to do something big for my boyfriend's birthday, but he's an introvert. What would be something big that he would appreciate as an introvert? He hates parties and socializing. He plays video games, works out, and loves nature. I thought about buying tickets to Iceland and taking him to hot springs and stuff. Update. My friends hurt my boyfriend's feelings, and my boyfriend is mad at me. So, this is what I was hoping to avoid, but my boyfriend and I are having a great relationship. He's a great partner. Our issues are mainly that he doesn't fit in with my friends, but he says it shouldn't matter, and I agree. We just signed a lease together, and I had a small housewarming. My boyfriend does a bunch of cosplay and tabletop stuff. He's very introverted, but when one of my friends asked him about his hobbies, he got super excited and showed his cosplay stuff. He ran into the room and grabbed every piece of cosplay stuff he could find. They all started laughing at him. I said be nice, and they just piled on him for about 10 minutes. My one friend asked if he got bullied in school, and that's why he joined the military. And he said he was bullied in school, but before he could finish, my one friend interrupted him and said we could tell. Afterward, my boyfriend said he was going to run errands and left. Anyway, he tells me to text him when they leave, and I do. They left after another 2 hours, and he came back and gave me the cold shoulder. I asked him why, and he said he doesn't like my friends, and I didn't defend him, even though I did. I kept telling them to be nice. They didn't listen. Now, he's been decently distant. He only gets social with me when it comes to planning his birthday trip, which he's excited about. Relevant comments. Fang again coming nowhere here. Do I see how you defended him? Did you kick these people out? Where's the story about how you told them you couldn't be friends with them anymore? Op? I told them they should be nicer while they were ranting, and after he left, I can have another talk about how they were terribly disrespectful. Update. I took everyone's advice. I got breakfast with my friends and told them that their behavior was absolutely appalling. They apologized and said they didn't mean it like that. I told them I understood, but it still hurt his feelings. We agreed that next time, they would be a lot nicer. My boyfriend has been distant still, but I've spent the last couple of days spoiling him like no tomorrow. Relevant comments. Are you and did they, or you apologize to your boyfriend? HEK, the one who got hurt here. Opie. They will when they see him. Are you? I don't think he will be thrilled to see them again. Did you two ever sit down and discuss the situation? Or are you trying to suppress his trauma with gifts? Op? I did discuss it with him. He told me last week he felt I didn't defend him, and it hurt his feelings. That's why I made that last post. And this time I took everyone's advice to let my friends know that their behavior will not be tolerated. Are you? And then you need to sit down and talk with him again. He has been cold towards you for a week. You mentioned that they didn't mean to belittle or insult him. It was just a joke. A joke does not last for 10 minutes, especially with people who are not friends, especially when they mention his past bullying. They knew what they were doing and are now trying to downplay it. They have assumed the role of his tormentors now. This incident likely stirred up memories from his past, and you were present there, Opie. I will have a conversation with him today. He inquired whether I could prepare spaghetti if he went to the store to gather the necessary ingredients. He particularly enjoys the way I prepare his spaghetti. I plan to broach the subject with him during dinner. As for the notion of a next time, Op, it's endearing that you believe there might be one. I won't compel my boyfriend to spend time with them, but I anticipate they may cross paths during occasions like my upcoming birthday dinner. Regarding Retic Flume's comment, I interpret it as suggesting that your boyfriend may indeed be contemplating ending the relationship. Thank you for watching the video. If you're keen on hearing more stories like this, we have plenty in stock for you. Simply subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and share it with your friends.